Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Fan expectations are sky high as WWE continues on its Europe tour on the road to WrestleMania 41. However, Rhea Ripley's selling was amongst the many issues that wrestling veteran Vince Russo noticed from another confusing women's segment. The Women's World Championship storyline is currently at a perplexing juncture as Bianca Belair, the Elimination Chamber winner, doesn't know who she will face at WrestleMania 41. Rhea Ripley tried to force her way into the match, but Adam Pearce was having none of it and booked Rhea and Sky's title rematch for next week's Raw. The bout was booked after another segment between the three women on this week's show, which predictably ended in another brawl. For starters, Vince Russo, while speaking on Legion of Raw, didn't know who to cheer for between Sky, Belair, and Ripley as WWE had not done anything to clearly define each character. He was even more shocked to see Rhea Ripley overselling and bumping for moves that probably hurt her image and aura. The former WWE head writer called out the promotion for what they were doing with the Australian superstar, while also picking out the problems with the three-way program. Rhea Ripley will have another chance to become the Women's World Champion when she faces Io Sky on the next edition of WWE Raw in London. Interestingly, Bianca Belair will be the special guest referee for the bout. In the high-stakes, high-energy world of WWE, every move, every gesture, and every decision made by a superstar is scrutinized by fans, commentators, and insiders alike. The WWE Universe is often quick to react when something out of the ordinary happens, and when a veteran of the business speaks out, it's hard to ignore. In an exclusive interview with a WWE veteran, an intriguing observation was made about Rhea Ripley, one of the most dominant superstars in WWE today. According to the veteran, Rhea Ripley has been doing something every 30 seconds on Raw that has been shockingly bad for her character and the overall product of WWE. This statement has raised eyebrows, and the questions are piling up. What exactly is Ripley doing? How is it affecting her reputation, and why is a WWE veteran so concerned? Let's break down this controversial claim and explore what it could mean for Rhea Ripley, her ongoing feud with Bianca Belair, and her place in WWE. In a recent conversation, a former WWE star, who has spent years in the company and has a deep understanding of what it takes to be a top-tier superstar, made the bold assertion that Rhea Ripley has developed an alarming habit on Raw. This veteran pointed out that Ripley was doing something every 30 seconds that, in their opinion, hurt her performance and her overall character. Every time I watch Rhea Ripley on Raw, it's like clockwork, the veteran said. Every 30 seconds, she's doing something that just doesn't make sense. It's not what the audience expects from a top-level talent like her. It's distracting, and honestly, it's damaging to her image. The veteran refused to elaborate on exactly what the something was, which only sparked further intrigue. Fans immediately began speculating. Was it a move in the ring? A verbal slip-up during promos? Or was it something more subtle, like her body language or facial expressions? While the veteran's comments were cryptic, it's not hard to break down what Rhea Ripley has been doing on Raw recently that might raise concerns. Ripley is known for her hard-hitting style, her confident demeanor, and her role as SmackDown Women's Champion. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and sometimes even the most dominant superstars can slip into bad habits. Here are some potential things that Ripley could be doing every 30 seconds that might be bothering WWE insiders. 1. Overemphasizing her aggression. Rhea Ripley has built a reputation as a dominant, no-nonsense competitor in the women's division. She's known for her powerhouse moves and relentless aggression, and her character revolves around being an unstoppable force. However, this veteran pointed out that Ripley may be overdoing it by constantly hitting hard or making exaggerated movements, which can make her seem too predictable. Every 30 seconds, Ripley may be pushing too hard on the aggression front, and the lack of subtlety could be affecting her matches. Instead of letting her natural intensity come through in a more controlled, calculated manner, she might be coming off as one-dimensional, a powerhouse with little nuance or depth. This could lead to the audience becoming desensitized to her hard-hitting style, making her less effective in the ring. 2. Relying too heavily on facial expressions. Another possibility is that Ripley might be using exaggerated facial expressions every few moments, which could be distracting. In the world of professional wrestling, body language and facial expressions are key to telling a story, but if they're used too frequently or become too over the top, they can take away from the intensity of the match or the promo. If Ripley is making a pointed effort to constantly show intensity or frustration with her face, it could be damaging to her credibility. Every 30 seconds, she might be trying to convey too much emotion when sometimes less is more. Great wrestlers are able to evoke emotion through subtlety, rather than hitting the audience over the head with it at every turn. 3. Constantly shifting focus between opponents and the crowd. Ripley has always been a star who knows how to get the crowd behind her. But this WWE veteran pointed out that, during her recent matches, it feels like Ripley is trying too hard to play both to the crowd and to her opponent at the same time. This shift between performing for the audience and delivering in-ring psychology is critical. But if it happens too often, every 30 seconds, it can break the immersion. Ripley might find herself distracting the audience by focusing on the reactions instead of the flow of the match, making it feel like she's losing track of the story she's trying to tell. 4. Repetitive moves or sequences. Another criticism could be Ripley's over-reliance on specific moves or sequences. WWE fans love familiarity, but they also appreciate innovation. If Ripley is constantly repeating the same high-impact moves every 30 seconds, it might cause her to become predictable. Instead of showcasing her full range of abilities, she could be falling into a routine that limits her potential. A WWE veteran would notice this repetitive pattern immediately. Superstars are expected to evolve with each match, and if Ripley isn't keeping things fresh in her offense, she could risk stagnating in her character development. Fans may start to lose interest if they know exactly what's coming next. As one of WWE's most dominant female stars, Rhea Ripley has the potential to be a future cornerstone of the women's division for years to come. However, if she's unknowingly falling into these bad habits, it could limit her growth both as a performer and as a top-level talent. WWE operates in a highly competitive environment, with new talent constantly coming up through the ranks. If Ripley's performances are deemed repetitive, overly aggressive, or predictable, she might risk losing her position at the top to fresher faces who bring a new energy to their matches. In a company as large as WWE, stagnation is the enemy of progress. Every superstar needs to evolve, develop new facets of their character, and keep the audience engaged with unpredictable performances. If Ripley continues to fall into these habits every 30 seconds, it could eventually hinder her ability to truly stand out in the way she once did. While the criticism is certainly harsh, it doesn't necessarily mean that Rhea Ripley is doomed. In fact, it could be a blessing in disguise. Wrestling veterans often provide valuable insights that can push superstars to become the best versions of themselves. If Ripley is aware of these potential issues, she can take the necessary steps to hone her craft and address the areas where she's slipping. Find a balance between aggression and subtlety. Ripley could focus on controlling the intensity of her aggression, building to bigger moments rather than constantly going full throttle. Master the art of subtlety in facial expressions. Learning to convey emotion with restraint and subtlety would make her character feel more authentic and nuanced. Stay focused on storytelling. Ripley can continue to engage the audience, but do so by maintaining the flow of the match rather than distracting herself with too many outside elements. Diversify her moveset. Adding more variety to her offense could keep her matches fresh and exciting, giving fans something new to look forward to each time. Rhea Ripley has undoubtedly cemented herself as one of WWE's brightest stars, but even the most talented performers can benefit from self-reflection and feedback. The criticism raised by the WWE veteran, though harsh, is a call for Ripley to refine her craft and take her performances to the next level. What happens next is crucial. Will Ripley address these bad habits and evolve as a performer, or will they continue to hold her back from becoming the all-time great she's destined to be? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, her journey is far from over, and her story is still unfolding in WWE.